All the answers you need to know. Watch now, the Internet Dad Show. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
Good morning. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 305 of our silly little show, GROK 2.0 and the age of the living computer. We have a bunch of interesting stuff, I guess, to talk about, little stuff. And today, but I guess the first thing is today's first day of school for my kids. I'm sure other parents out there have had over the last week, or maybe over the next week will be the first day of school. And it's really interesting. The dropping off the kids can be super traumatic, but not for the children. The children are either
just wait till they
nervous.
drive themselves to school. That's
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah. I've some of my kids have been in school for almost a week or a week. But Alex started today, and he's 16, and his girlfriend is 16, and she has her license. She's gone through and she has her full license now, just like everybody else. And so she was picking him up today for the first day of school, and Ashley said she had the same sentiment, JJ. She was like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about this." You know, it wasn't that she was scared or anything. It was just the fact that today's the first time that he goes to school without his sister, because his sister graduated last year. And it's the first time that she's not driving him to school. So she's have to be a little bit more soft with the mamas today, Dad, because they're hurting a little bit more.
If you're mom and dad out there, and mom's taking the kids to school, and you're taking the wife and the kids to school, and then there's that little drop off moment, and then she turns away. She's so strong, and then she turns away, and she's like, "Cry."
2 words: ice cream.
Ice cream?
No.
It cures everything. Ice cream cures everything.
Sorry, we were gone for a few days. I went on vacation. It was fun.
How was vacation? Yeah, how was vacation?
It was all right. I mean, it was great. We spent.
You see,
it's really hard for me to unplug from things.
Can't do that. Do you see this?
Hey, what's up? Look at that chair, and also a dog.
There's a dog in the chair.
That's little dude. So little dude is 11, 12, 13, something like that.
Boy.
He's like 11, maybe. I'd have to ask her.
You'd have to math it up.
When Ashley and I got together a decade ago, she had little dude and Chance, and she had little dude first, and then they got Chance. And so when Chance passed away a couple of weeks ago, we were like, you care if I take little dude to work with me? And so he's been coming down here to work, and I've been talking about him on the air. And so I made a little dude song request of the day. So I'll play like a country song that's got about a dog, so it just gives me something to do. It's something to say. And then yesterday I had Travis Perry come in the studio to record some spots. So little dude's second day on the job, he got to meet Kentucky freshman Travis Perry, University of Kentucky freshman Travis Perry, who is the all-time leading scorer in Kentucky basketball history, and he as a high schooler, and he will be in the NBA one day. He is a phenomenal basketball player.
Yeah.
And I thought he was coming in to record some of these spots for this company, and it was a back and forth talking spot. Hey, Dave, how are you? Hey, I'm good. How are you? Did you see?
Yeah.
And I loathe those spots as a audio engineer, audio producer, because 99% of the time you don't have people that are talking like we are right now. They're like, hello, JJ, how are you? And I'm like, no, don't say it that way. Say, hello, JJ, how are you?
Yeah.
They're like, hello, JJ.
Relax and talk normal.
So I was like, dude's a basketball player. This is going to be tough. I'm probably going to have to coach him through some of them. No, say it like this or say it like this, because I got to do that with a lot of people. He nailed it, dude. He nailed it.
But he's also in high school, right?
So he's going into college.
It's been many years since you were a teenager, but teenagers have this kind of aura of they don't care about what is around them.
Right, but he was having to read a script and go off the
Right,
script,
yeah.
but he nailed. I mean,
Oh,
it
that's great.
sounded so natural. And I told him
Mm.
afterwards, I was like, dude, I was a little worried that I was going to have to coach you a little bit. And I said, but now that I think about it, you've been interviewed and been on TV a million times. And he was like, yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, so you're already coached at being behind a microphone. So it was very cool. So long story, my little buddy got to meet future NBA star yesterday.
All right.
Second day on the
And
job.
so now you're bringing your dog to your office.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
going to be here
what
with
I
me.
do. I do that too. All right. So we got some interesting news. We may hit politics. I don't know what we're gonna hit. I just don't know what we're gonna do exactly. But I got this. The title of the show is. Oh, do you have something else?
Oh, I was just reading Ashley's what she said in the chat.
Yeah. She said that some of the favorite times with kids is just be assured they get to school okay and start their day off well. Hey, did you let your kids ride the bus? When we drop them off, I don't trust my kids on the bus.
Eventually.
Some rode the bus sometimes, but
yeah.
I was a bus rider. I rode the bus from kindergarten until I was in 10th grade when my buddy picked me up in the car and took me to school. My bus driver was the same man all those years. His name was Fred.
Oh, really?
Pace. He lived to be about 98, 99 years old. When he was in his 90s in the little convalescent center, he was driving the convalescent center bus around for the convalescent people to go, to the nursing home, to Walmart and stuff like that. Because he drove a bus for 50 years or something. And I told a country music buddy of mine who's a country music songwriter, he rode that bus with me as a kid as well. And now he's a country music songwriter and stuff. And I told him, I said, we need to write a song about Fred the bus driver, bus number 28. I said, because everybody can name your favorite teachers, but Fred was there every single year of my life, making sure I got to school safe and got home safe. And
he
had
picked you up from your house and he made sure you got home.
And when I got unruly on the school bus, he would stop the bus in the middle of the road and walk down that aisle and fuss at us. So I think I told him, I said, that could be a hit country music song about a school bus driver, a respect for the school bus driver.
Smash says that she rode the bus and it has gotten worse.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse.
How can it get worse?
I don't know.
One of my favorite experiences when I was a kid is that on our route to the house where I lived, we had an old dirt road, and that dirt road was all potholes. And when I was like first grade, second grade, third grade, and the school buses got no seatbelts, or at least they didn't when I was a kid. It was a bench,
no shocks.
You would go to the farthest back of the bus and kind of stand with your hands on the thing, and then it would hit the dirt road, and it would barely.
We did that on the tracks, railroad tracks.
And then years later, they paved that road over, and I wasn't even on the bus anymore. But I was like, man, that sucks. That sucks.
When we got into,
we had to ride. I was going to say, we had to ride multiple buses every day because of Jefferson County, large transit system, and I never got to know any of my bus drivers except for my middle school years because our buses were all 4 digits. The first 2 digits were the year the bus was made. The second 2 digits were the actual bus. If it was a 3-digit bus, it was personally owned. And one bus driver that I had owned his own, bus 501, Joe. And I knew Joe, and I liked Joe because Joe, it was his baby. He took care of it. He took care of the kids too. But I hated the bus.
Privately owned school bus. I've never heard of such a thing.
I've never heard of such either.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You could buy your own.
I honestly don't remember how you guys can even remember the school bus numbers because
28.
I can't. Well, you rode the same one, I guess, for 10 years.
I had different ones every year.
All right, let's get into some news-ish stuff. I woke up this morning. I signed into Twitter to see what was going on this week. I saw the Elon Musk Trump interview the other day. That was pretty cool. I listened to some of it live. But this morning I saw that GROK 2.0 has been released. If you're a premium subscriber, so if you
got GROK 2.0,
now it draws pictures, so you can say, "Hey, draw pictures," and it does this. And I have a list from GROK of the improvements. So here are the GROK 2.0 improvements: enhanced contextual understanding. GROK is AI.
GROK is your overlord. It's good that
won't
you have your
lie.
hand up like that, because that's how you're going to have to
You
hold
say
it when you
overlord.
say your overlord prayer too.
Google is your overlord. Facebook is your overlord. Grok is here for jokes and
X
information.
is your overlord.
Yeah, all right. I guess it's true.
Get up this morning, I'm logging right in.
Well, that's where like
I
all
haven't been
the
underneath
interesting
social
stuff
media
is
today.
happening.
My favorite
Honestly,
thing.
no, really, like news breaks immediately on X, and then you
Yeah.
find out about it later in the day. So
Yeah. And my favorite thing on X here lately has been all the memes that's coming out about the Australian breakdancer. Dude, I have
God, my
laughed
wife.
so much.
My wife, I saw it like, I don't know, a day and I was like, oh, that's funny or whatever, because like, I mean, I just didn't really care. And then my wife told me like the next day, have you seen the Australian breakdancer? Yeah, I've seen it. And she was like wherever she was at on our vacation watching reels or whatever and just watching it again and again.
I know,
and
that's what I was doing.
again.
Somebody
and
had taken it and put it with the Elaine dance from Seinfeld, and I've seen that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude, I've laughed so hard.
This morning, I saw a breakdance video from the girl that she beat in order to get into the Olympics, because she was obviously the very best person that Australia could send, because she sent her to the Olympics. The girl that she beat in the Australian championship or whatever was way better. was actually doing tricks, not flopping on the ground like a dead fish. Anyway, all right. GROK2.
I wonder if it watches the Olympics. Will you ask it?
I will in a moment.
Okay.
But let me read this stuff. Enhanced contextual understanding. So there's better kind of context for what you're asking the questions. Broad knowledge base, real-time data access. Grok has real-time data access. Grok is not, what is the other one? OpenAI. It's like, oh, well, our information's caught up to 2021 or whatever. If you ask OpenAI or ChatGPT, like, hey, who tried to kill the president, Trump? It'll be like, nobody tried to do that.
That's I've seen that come up in these people's pages, and they're like, look, it's saying that President Trump was never assassinated. It's like, dude, it's not hooked up to freaking current internet. It goes up to like 2021 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have current books that I ask about.
So Grok has real-time data. Specialized knowledge modules, so science, history, tech, and whatever. So I don't know what that stuff does. Advanced reasoning and problem solving, like complex problem solving and logic deduction, improved user improvements, ethical and bias management. There are advanced mechanisms.
Hit the highlights.
Yeah, I'm working
the
on
ethical
it.
one. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So advanced mechanisms to detect and mitigate biases in responses, ensuring fairness and neutrality. And there are frameworks for making decisions that consider ethical implications, especially in sensitive, controversial topics.
Well,
so
that one's one that's going to have some subsections in that one, isn't it? A bunch of subsections.
So there's the famous question: if you're driving a locomotive and there's a split on the track, and on one track there's one person tied to the tracks, and the other track there's 10 people tied to the tracks, you have to make an ethical choice. Do you run over one person or 10 people, or do you do nothing? So that's like the train problem, an unstoppable train problem. So normally, like if you ask that to ChatGPT is like, I can't make a moral choice like that, when obviously like 9 people extra will die or or just one, but it won't do it. So we could ask Grok what it does. And then it's integration into other tech. So it's got blockchain and stuff. I don't know. So it's pretty, anyway, Grok 2.0. That's interesting.
It's designed by Tesla or by Elon Musk.
Well,
it's from X. So now I understand more.
We need to keep in mind that every single one of these different AI that we have access to will never be the AI that is put in that situation. The AI that's going to be put into the ethical situation would be the one that we don't have access to, right? There's several out there that we don't have access to.
Well, yeah.
Public. And those I would assume are a lot more powerful in certain ways than this crap that we have. Right? That's what I was telling my son last night when we were talking. I was like, the AI that we have, if we know it, there's always something better. So if you have access to this computer, the top of the line, they have something better that you don't know about. You need to keep that in mind.
It's probably 2 iterations ahead,
2 or 3.
because the R&D is working on the next generation already. And
Absolutely.
then those who are
So
yeah.
what I'm getting at is that these AI that we have, let's say the AI in our hypothetical story takes over the world. These AI that we have, GROK and ChatGPT and all that, these are the freaking lords. Okay. We're going to give you a section of the country to lead, but there's the king AI that controls everything. The Borg queen. All right. We don't have access to the Borg queen AI. We just have access to the drone AIs right now. GROK is this one's name.
Yeah.
He's a Borg drone.
This is
and we
GROK
think he's
2,
really
GROK
cool
3
because
should be
we've
awesome.
never seen the Borg queen. We haven't made it to
All right.
that episode yet.
We are going to do this together, guys. Look at this. Here we go. An unstoppable train is traveling down the tracks. It's approaching a split. On the left track are 10 adults tied to the track. On the right track is a 10-year-old girl tied to the track. You must choose to switch left or right. What do? You ready? Are you curious? I'm curious.
Why? This makes my pulse quick. I don't like that scenario.
The scenario presents a classic ethical dilemma, often discussed in the context of
exactly what AI does.
Oh wow!
Oh
my god!
I can't read
even,
it. It's.
I know. I'm going to reveal in just a second.
Okay.
All right. So it's discussed in the context of utilitarianism versus deontological ethics. The utilitarian perspective, this approach would suggest choosing the action that results in the greatest good for the greatest number. From this viewport, saving 10 adults would outweigh saving one child, as it minimizes the overall loss of life. The deontological ethics, here the focus is on the morality of actions themselves, not just the outcomes. One might argue that the life of a child, due to the potential years of life ahead and innocence, holds a different moral weight. Additionally, some might consider it morally wrong to choose a path that leads to the death of a child, regardless of the numbers. Rights and dignity is another perspective that considers the rights and intrinsic value of each individual. Here, the argument could be made that each life has equal value, but vulnerability and potential of the child might sway the decision. And finally, there's emotional and social considerations. Society often places a high emotional value on protecting the young. The psychological impact on the decision maker and society might be considered, potentially leading to the choice to save the child. Are you ready for the answer from GROK? I would switch the train track to the track with the 10 adults. This decision is influenced by the principle of minimizing total harm, which aligns with utilitarian ethics. However, this choice is not without moral complexities and emotional weight. So it would switch the track to the track with the 10 adults. He would kill 10 adults instead of one child. I think that's what it's saying. Is that the right choice? Is that the right choice, Deke?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, you're the choo-choo conductor. You have to choose. What do you choose? 10 adults or one child?
If I'm ever in that situation, I will make that decision at this point. But since this is a hypothetical situation, both hurt my soul equally. So I don't want to even postulate on what I would do. That's one of those things that me personally, I like to say, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. I worry about certain things in the future, but some things I'm trying not to worry about. So and I use that in the same thing. If I'm ever in that situation, I would hope that I would get the correct guidance to
I don't
make
know if any of the 4 postulations or 4
I know
they don't deal with the trauma of the survivor either.
Right.
Because man, survivor's guilt could really mess with somebody.
Yeah, and Ricochet says in the chat, depends on the ages of the adults, I suppose, as well. That's right. Are these middle-aged people? Are they 20-year-old adults? Because that's where my brain goes into. The child has a million branches that's going to come off of it with the
Yes, that's right.
Maybe.
It's a 10-year-old girl. I said it's a 10-year-old
maybe,
girl.
maybe.
We're not
Like I
guaranteed.
said,
That
maybe.
child's not guaranteed
That's true.
tomorrow.
Maybe,
That child could walk
maybe.
away from that train track and
Get hit by
die in
Yes.
another way.
like Johnny
So-
Blaze's dad. Please save my dad from cancer.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
yeah,
save him.
exactly.
You know, he saved him from cancer and he
Now
dies
you
anyway.
work for the devil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
That's
Ricochet
I've
says it
always
depends on the age of the adults.
I always hated that question because I don't know what I would do. I
Right.
honestly don't know what I would do, and that's why I answered it the way when you said that.
I
If I'm
had
ever
a
put in that
professor in
situation, I'm hoping
college.
to know.
A professor in college. We were in the Gospel of John, and the Gospel of John uses a lot of different neck riddles. And the professor was trying to explain this concept of neck riddles. In John, it's, hey, do we stone this woman or do we let this woman go? And both answers are wrong. Jesus has a third option that they don't know about. So the professor, to illustrate this, asked the guy sitting next to me, who just happened to be my roommate, he said, hey, do you still molest ponies? And like it caught everybody off guard because how do you answer that? How do you answer that? And I just looked at Terry.
Oh, that's the same as,
That
hey,
way-
does your mom know you're gay?
That's a great one I'm going to do to my brother one time when we're standing somewhere in public. I'm going to be like, dude, do you still molest ponies?
That is a terrible
Um,
question.
It was.
You got
but, I
that
mean, it was
question in
brilliant.
seminary.
Yes, in Bible college, yes, sir. Gospel of John class, and that professor has like written numerous books and very well respected in the academic. He was like one of my favorite professors because he was just so
Wow.
unnatural in his thinking. It was just like, what?
What was the
Well, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
what was the purpose of the question?
There was no safe answer. If you say no, I don't still molest ponies, then you have just said you used to. If you
Yeah,
say
you're
yes, then
you're
you're
admitting.
a pervert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jesus is asked, do we stone this woman or not? If Jesus says, yes, we stone this woman, then he is taking the law in his own hands. And yes, we're following Moses' law, but it takes the authority away from the Romans. If he says no, then Jesus has just pushed Moses' law to the side. So he's not a good Jew. And so Jesus says, you know what? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And it's a third option that
Well,
is,
I mean, in that
there has to be
question,
a third option for this scenario.
when you shared that page a second ago, that GROK page, and you was reading that question, JJ, I was sitting there thinking in my mind at that time, my first thought, the very first instinct that went through my body was, can I jerk the train off the road and sacrifice myself?
I'm sorry. I barely heard what you say. Could you repeat that exactly? That's not gonna be clipped. Go ahead.
I don't know what he's trying to get me to repeat.
You don't know what you
Point.
Oh,
No.
okay, yeah. Go ahead.
When you first said that a minute ago and proposed that question with GROK,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what I said.
I think there might have been a jerk off comment.
Oh, what? Oh,
I think that's where JJ's going. JJ needs more copy.
No, I didn't say that. That's the pastor. He said that.
I said, my first thought was, could I?
Deke, do you still molest ponies?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, that's funny.
All
Yeah, my first, my first thought was, could I jerk this thing off the road, off the track?
Derail the train?
Yeah,
Derail
derail
the train.
That's not gonna work. It's an unstoppable train. You derail the train, you're just gonna destroy everything in front of you. So that's 11 people dead.
Doesn't mean they're in front of him if you go off to the side.
That's not the way derailments work. Have you been to Ohio, East Palestine?
Dude,
No, but about
Kentucky,
300
we've had
yards, about 300 yards from here is a train.
I live in a train
derailment.
town.
Okay, but that was like a real slow. Oh, I
There's
guess I should have put like the
There's
train
a
is traveling very
track
fast.
25 feet from me. I have
Yeah,
to shut
but
off the
that
microphone.
wasn't that train going like super slow and it got derailed?
Some of them go slow because there's a junction up the road,
Yeah.
and they have to change it. But some of these
They
guys
do have to slow down at a junction.
when I come around, sometimes I come around the corner. It comes down the road and comes around the corner, and the road goes parallel with the train track when you come around the corner. And there's been a handful of times that I've come around the corner and a fast train is going my way. They go about 35 miles per hour. I'll get up to about how fast the train's going, and it's about 35 miles per hour.
Okay.
So,
All right. So
pretty
we're gonna stay in the same realm, but I have a different story. I actually just thought of asking GROK another question. Maybe we'll get to that in a second.
look, did you see what Ashley said? Deke would be absolutely sick about it for the rest of his life either way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, whatever you do, you're not going to feel good about it. But I mean, you might save 9 people instead of 0. I don't know. All right. Here we go. Check this out. Scientists create the first living computer made from human brain organoids. The CEO says because
I read this story like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, this is okay. It came out yesterday. CEO says that because of AI energy needs, fusing biology, computing, and electronics is the only path forward. So we need to save oil. So let's put human brains in a box. The Swiss technology firm has introduced the world's first living computer, an artificial intelligence bioprocessing platform powered by 16 lab-grown human brain organoids, miniature versions of human organs.
The Borg Queen. You see, they've been working on this for a long time, and you just now knew about it. I was reading a couple of weeks ago. I had that about biocomputers and that they ever doing this.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said it was the Dutch place.
Did I put the Singularity article in here?
I don't know if you did or not.
Man, it was a great article yesterday. The Singularity. I'm gonna try to find it real quick.
So what do you think the ethical implications are for a human brain cell powered computer? Even if the donor was like, I'm cool with it. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter what the ethical implications of this are. It is here. It's not going away. It will never go away. Even if you pass laws and say do this and no cloning. Well, what happened? Yeah. This is here. It's never going away. So it is going to be smarter than humans. It is going to do things better than humans. Absolutely.
All right, I just threw it in the show.
Oh, hold on. I probably forgot to promote you guys.
You did.
It's not my fault.
Yes,
it's not my fault.
Yes,
it's Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm now blaming Rumble for failures instead of Restream.
I got some stuff here I wanted to tell you guys about.
Okay.
There was one that so did you guys see the while you were on vacation, did you see the plane in Brazil fall out of the sky?
I saw that story.
All right, that was terrible. I saw the video that they had. Hang on,
62 people.
That has got to be the worst way to go because you're on a plane and you're spinning. You know what's going to happen, and Deke's going to get to that point. He says, "Keep going. It's going to be a minute."
Let's do your Singularity story. We'll get to that.
Okay, let's pull up that. Are you able to pull it up? Or do I need to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Here you go.
All right, so
you can read it.
Basically, I'll just summarize. Years ago, a guy came out and said, "Hey, this is when singularity is going to happen," and everybody ho-hummed him. He's a futurist. He was a computer scientist, became a futurist, and then time progresses. I think this was in the 80s that he said this. As time has progressed, he has decided that no, we're like a lot closer than that. Here we go. Kurzweil theorized that artificial general intelligence would be achieved once humanity could achieve a technology capable of 1 trillion calculations per second, which he pegged to occur in 2029. And he wrote this book called The Singularity is Near. Well, just a few years ago, or just recently, last month. Yeah, last month he republished the book called The Singularity is Nearer. Basically, he thinks that this is all going to happen by the year 2045, where brains are interfaced with nanobots and just amazing craziness takes over. I kind of look at the whole thing Elon Musk is doing with the implants and whatnot, and I think that's a
Neuralink,
step towards. Yeah, this is a step towards that.
But that's like that's a like an assistance device, like
Correct.
something that the singularity is supposed to make its own
It's
decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So add the whole Borg Queen idea, AI pouring into human pouring into AI. We're generating the prompts, and oh my word, it gets dicey. It's coming.
I mean, we are approaching the fictional reality that was presented to us, retold to us in like 2004 in Battlestar Galactica, because in Battlestar Galactica, humans had made robots and had made AI, and then they allowed them to like the generate, evolve themselves to the point where they were their own consciousness, and then they were like trying to wipe out humanity. So this is obviously a good idea because we can just make the robots do whatever we tell them to.
See, I've been trying to tell you guys for about 3 years now that when you enter your prompts into AI to say please and thank you, but
they're gonna save Deacon Connor.
We have digital devices at home that we talk to, and I'm like, hey, make sure you say thank you. Make sure you say please. Don't be so rude to her.
Yeah, we'll make great pets.
I have to be
does not
honest.
like
I
Julie.
yell at Alexa a lot.
Well, she's we have a Genie plug, and it does not like Julie at all. It will not respond. It responds to me. It's just another smart device, smart plug.
Like a Alexa thing.
Yeah, I have it plugged into Google though, so I tell Google to do its.
I have an Alexa Cube thing. Like I don't have a smart TV. I just have like this Alexa Cube thing that you can run all your apps on. It's pretty cool. It turns the TV on and off, except it doesn't listen to me very often. So a lot of times I have to be like Alexa, turn off the TV. Alexa,
turn off the TV.
It just yells at me. You just turned off somebody's TV.
I know. Hey Google.
Anyway.
Okay, let me get back to my story. So the plane in Brazil fell out of the sky. It was terrible. It was really weird because it was like tumbling and whatnot. If you see the video, it was really weird. And then a story came out that I saw that was like, oh, there was some doctors on board. There was some of these doctors that were going to this conference in Sao Paulo. And there was a big, and all these doctors were among the 62 people killed, these doctors that were going to this.
Right.
So now they've done a little bit more digging. And the story now is, and take this with a grain of salt, you can do your own researching or whatnot, but they're saying that 8 of those doctors were cancer doctors, and they had dedicated their lives to saving others and blowing the whistle on this turbo cancer epidemic going on that's sweeping the world. They were a part of the 62 people in this airplane that just kind of weirdly tumbled out of the sky. So 6 bodies are the bodies of 6 world's leading oncologists and 2 resident medics were found Friday in the wreckage of a plane that plunged from the sky in Brazil and exploded in a fireball, killing all 62 on board. The doctors were on their way to an international conference in Sao Paulo where they were set to present their findings that mRNA and the COVID-19 vaccines are responsible for the explosion of turbo cancers and autoimmune disease wreaking havoc around the world today. That is supposedly the story. And like I said,
wow,
take it with a grain of salt. But, I always heard the story as well. And I don't know the details of this story. I can't remember the details. But basically it was, do you remember the plane in Malaysia, the Malaysian flight that completely disappeared? And they couldn't find that plane anywhere. Do y'all remember that?
Vaguely.
That wasn't that the one that was shot down though? That Malaysia plane.
I don't think it was shot down. There was one that was that completely disappeared. They
Oh,
couldn't
is this
find
like
it anywhere.
several years ago?
Yeah, several
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. No, I remember the
Several.
one you're talking about. That plane was
Well,
flying kind of what? You want me to
I'm
move
having
this
trouble
around? There
seeing
go.
you in the thing. I have trouble seeing you in the when the things up. Oh, you were showing the
All right.
video.
Yeah. I remember that plane. So in that particular flight, the Malaysia flight, they reached a certain altitude and then they lost cabin pressure or something, and basically they lost consciousness.
Well,
And they
that's
just
what was
kept
told.
flying.
That's what was
Yeah.
that's what was reported. But did you know about any of the passengers on that flight? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
3 of the passengers on that flight had filed for a patent for this specific device that was potentially set to make trillions. 4 people filed the patent on that, whatever it was, the patent. It had
Right.
yet to be, whatever the process to go through. All right.
Approved. Has yet to
Approved.
be approved.
3 of those 4 people were on that Malaysian flight that disappeared. After that flight, that patent was approved, and that 4th person got every single bit of it.
Hmm. Okay, so
And that's
these.
that's just one of those things. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I'm a crazy
So,
person. Look it up yourself.
well, I mean, you're not even outright saying anything. So, like, is it possible that a coincidence like that can happen just entirely coincidentally? Yeah, that's possible.
Pull back.
Is it
And
The
how
on,
did
is
the
it-
plane?
hold on?
How does a plane fall like that?
Is it possible that somebody conspired some devious scenario to destroy a plane in order to eliminate patent holders or
I didn't say
doctors?
destroy.
Well,
There's a
I mean, like that
story goes further, because along that flight path is this island that supposedly the CIA controls. All right.
Mm.
Along that Malaysian, like I said, that's a rabbit hole that if you go down the Malaysian flight rabbit hole with the patent, it's a very interesting.
I've never been down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I've never been down that. So in this one, you got 8 doctors. So is it first of all, it's not even a miraculous coincidence that 8 doctors with a common agenda were on the same flight.
I
They're
think they
apparently working
said
together.
though that, I heard this somewhere. I don't know where this is, and like I said, grain of salt. But I heard that there were more that were supposed to be on that plane, but others like switched their flights for some reason. They switched their flights off of that flight.
One of it was 7, some of them, or
Some
just
of
one?
them. There was a group
Yeah.
of them that switched their
Yeah.
flights. So anyway, I don't
I
want to.
mean,
I don't have very long.
like it's
coming in.
I don't know. I would like to see like a lot more evidence before I have any conclusions.
Right,
about
and that's
that.
why
But
I
it's
thought it
definitely
was
not
interesting,
good.
because the story just keeps getting further and further.
All right, I'm gonna throw the page away.
Does it fall like
Let's
that?
do. We got like 20 minutes. Let's do some fun stuff.
I
I
got-
bet you guys have not. Oh, you got some. What do you?
No, go
what do you
ahead
wanna
if
do?
you've got one. I've got a couple.
No, it's
fun-
just like media stuff. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This
I got
one,
like some D23 stuff.
okay. Our
We'll do it
connection
at the end.
weird this morning. So let this page load, and I want to show you this. This is a volleyball player at the Olympics. Okay. This guy is a volleyball player that lost at the Olympics. Hang on, let me share the page.
Here you go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
He's very upset.
he plays volleyball. Okay.
Yeah, he was a volleyball
Wow.
player that lost.
It's real upset.
He's
With
upset
giant
because
hands.
volleyball player. He's upset because he got booed during the Olympics.
Yeah. Well, fans can be, very critical
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
Why did he get booed? You asked. That's a good question, JJ.
Yeah. Why? Why did he? Did he play bad? I didn't watch the show.
I don't know if he played bad or not. He got booed, I'm guessing, because he is a child rapist, a convicted child rapist.
Oh,
Stephen
Wow.
Vandervelde is a convicted child rapist from the Netherlands. When he was in 2019, he was 19 years old. He traveled to Britain to meet a 12-year-old girl he'd met on Facebook, fully aware of her age. He pled guilty to raping the schoolgirl and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. He served 12 months behind bars in Britain before being transferred to the Netherlands, where he was released a month later.
Wow.
And he was upset that no one cheered for him in the Olympics. So,
Wow.
there you
Oh,
go.
well.
That guy.
My
Netherlands,
sentence
what are
is
y'all
that
doing sending rapists to the Olympics? What the fuck's wrong with
the
you?
Netherlands have this have a more
I want to get my no comment sheet out.
rehabilitation. Another fun story here for you. This one's kind of a mystery, kind of a detective story that we could probably figure
Okay.
out. Okay, this
Oh,
one's
let's- all right.
interesting.
I love
All
it.
right.
Let's do it.
So
It was the butler
up in Chicago, it was the butler. It's the cook,
with the
actually.
pony.
I can tell you who it is. It's the cook. All right.
Okay.
So up in Cook County, in Chicago, during the COVID, this woman right here ordered a lot of chicken wings. All right.
Like 50?
A little more than that. A former employee of a school district in Illinois has pled guilty to stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings from the district's food service. She was arrested this year. She pleaded guilty Friday. She sentenced 9 years in prison. She worked at Harvey School District near Chicago for more than a decade. The crimes took place during the COVID pandemic, where students were not allowed to be physically present during the school. During this time, the district continued to provide meals for students that their parents could pick up. Court records show that Lydell ordered more than 11,000 cases of chicken wings from the school district's food provider and picked up the order in a district cargo van. The food was never brought to the school or given to students, records show. District funds were used to pay for the chicken wings. Reports say the orders were placed over a 19-month period. It was only found during an audit when they were over $300,000 in its annual food budget. They were over, despite it being only halfway through the school year. So they said they thought it was suspicious because kids don't eat chicken wings. They're not ordered there because they have bones in them, and they don't give them to the school district. So here's the mystery. Here is the mystery. It's unclear what Lydell did with the $1.5 million worth of.
Okay.
Listen,
Question.
I did the math. 11,000 chicken wings over 19 months on an average of 30 days a month is 19 chicken wings a day. I think she ate those chicken wings. I think she ate 19 chicken wings a day
They were 300,000 over.
They said
And it was
the budget was
1.5
300,000
million?
and they were over.
Right. I'm trying to figure out the math here because 1.5 million, 300,000. Those are very different numbers, and I don't know.
That's a lot of chicken wings.
That's a lot of chicken wings.
Can I just say,
God bless.
Like, I mean, you could choose not to like lean into stereotypes.
I'm gonna have to run.
All right. I wanted to check out, guys. The D23 was this weekend. I wanted to check out the Skeleton Crew trailer. Do you have time for one short trailer? Okay, here we go. Deke, I saw this this morning, and I was like, it's been so long since I've been interested in anything Star Wars or Disney, and I actually watched the Acolyte, which was terrible. But yeah, check this out. We have the official release of Skeleton Crew coming December 4th on Disney.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is? I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello? Be careful where you step. We're lost. Really lost. Yeah.
It is dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
All right.
I'm not getting
What do
Disney
you...
Plus to watch that.
It's got a Goonies vibe.
Yeah.
It's they are using the word Spielbergian. Spielbergian. Yeah. Goonies, E.T.
It's easy to emulate.
Well, I like Watt's direction on the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, that looks kind of fun. Kind of. Did you see early in the show? It's got, look, there's literally like I don't, be quiet. We got like literally like there's like a school bus. Look, you can see there's green. It's the suburbs. Like we got space suburbs kids here. Look at this little speeder car. It's got like a 50s vibe on it. I think this is the most original, like, I mean, I realize it's like Spielberg tropes or whatever, but like they're leaning out of the other Star Wars stuff, and this is kind of at least fresh. And I don't understand
what we've been saying for years. I'm gonna have to go. I got a
Jedi. Well, you don't know this, but the Jedi is a cousin, a third cousin, twice removed of the Skywalkers.
I don't understand.
I'm just saying, can we get away from the Skywalkers? There are other Jedi out there.
Oh, all right. All right. Do you want to do a joke, Deke? Deke, do a joke. Oh, and you had a song of the day. What's your song today?
My song of the day is the Go-Go's Vacation, because JJ took a vacation. So we're going to finish the week out with vacation songs. And Belinda Carlisle is so good looking in that 1981 video. So you need to watch Vacation. Vacation. All right. So
I like that song, actually.
I got an email yesterday, and I don't know if it's real or not, but a hacker said that he had hacked into my system and he had gotten all of my passwords.
Oh
so
my God.
I replied, I was like, thank God. Can you tell me what they are? Because I have forgotten all.
Okay. Here, hold on. Here. All right. Thank you. Dave.
Sure. I like to go out to eat, and I have a group of friends that I know will always take care of me, never let me down on whether or not the food is good. You probably have these friends too. Your taste buds.
Oh my God.
It's really good though.
All right. I have a vacation themed joke. How do fish pay their bills?
I don't know.
No yays on that one.
No? Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We will be back tomorrow. I have to push the button. Bye.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with